Hello guys, so welcome back to another episode of Mimi Dollars Collection. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to end your leftover fishing line and how to add a new fishing line, and we are going to be doing this in two methods because a lot of you have been asking questions on how to end your leftover fishing line and how to add a new fishing line. So let's dive into the video. So this is the mat I'm weaving. Okay, like I said, we are going to be doing it in two methods. All right, so we are going to continue to weave our mat. I'll just weave this twice, and then we are going to end our fishing line and add a new fishing line. All right, so this is the first method. So I'm just adding my two beads. I'll cross with the second bead and pull. My front fishing line will go into the next one bead in front. This is our normal beaded mat. I'm going into the next one bead in front, like so. On the back fishing line, I'll just add my two beads and cross with the second bead and pull. Okay, and now we are going to end this fishing line. All right, so my front fishing line will go into the next one bead in front. Please watch carefully how I end my fishing line. All right, into the next one bead in front with that same fishing line we inserted, the front fishing line. All right, please, the front fishing line, this front fishing line over here, you pick up your two beads, insert them into the front fishing line, and then we are going to tie a knot twice. Please watch how I do it. I'm going to tie my thread twice. One. Okay, I'm going to tie it for the second time. I will tie it again. I don't want to forward this video so that you can get it clearly. Okay, so this is it. I've tied twice, and here we have a knot. All right, here we have a knot. Now both ends of my fishing lines, okay, I'm going to pass them into this bead over here where we tie the knot. This bead that is facing downward, this particular bead right here, I'm going to pass both ends of my fishing lines into that bead. Okay, so pull the knot a bit out so that you can pass your way through to this bead. The first fishing line you are passing, please do not pull. Okay, just pass it halfway in, do not pull it, and then pass the other fishing line as well into that same bead, this bead that is facing downward. Okay, pass your fishing line there, the second fishing line, I'm passing it there. Now you are going to pull them separately, one at a time, gradually. Okay, just pull gradually like this, so that the knot where we tie will get stuck inside this bead in the middle. So where the knot that we tied is in this bead right here in the middle, it has been stuck there. Now your fishing lines, you separate them. You are going to weave the leftover fishing line. Can you see how long my fishing line is? Just that this one is a bit too long, so I'm going to weave my leftover fishing line back into the body of the mat. This is the only way you can get a firm mat, and make sure you are following the matting method. Please don't just weave in your fishing line in any manner. Okay, make sure you are following the weaved or the mats so that you do not spoil your mat. Okay, follow the pattern and weave in your leftover fishing line. Separate them, weave one side and then weave the other side as well. All right, so I'm weaving in my leftover fishing line back into the body of the bag or the mat. This one as well, I'm going to follow the weaving lines. Please follow the weaving lines or the weaved lines. I'm going to weave in my leftover fishing line back into the body of the mat. So this is the first method on how to end your leftover fishing line. All right, so I'll weave it in, and when I am done, I'm going to cut it off. All right, weave it until it's short enough, then I'm going to cut it off. So when I'm done weaving, please make sure that your fishing lines can go into more than 10 beads, okay? Into more than 10 beads. Your leftover fishing line should be long enough to go into more than 10 beads. That way your bag is going to be firm. That's the only way you cannot get a sagging bag, all right? So when I'm done weaving, I'll cut it off and then we'll add a new fishing line. So with the new fishing line, we are going to go into the where we stopped, okay? Look at these two beads over here. These two beads right here. This is where we are supposed to continue. So if you watch, we have a straight line here. So when you see the slant, where it's slanting down, meaning that is where we stopped weaving. So I'm going to insert my fishing line there and into this bead that is facing front, okay? Into the bead in front. Can you see that? And then we are going to continue adding our two beads to the back fishing line. All right, on the back fishing line, I'm going to keep adding my two beads. So we are going to do the second method on how to end your leftover fishing line. Okay, so with my front fishing line, I'll go through the next bead as well in front, and on the back fishing line, I'll add my two beads. All right, I'll add my two beads and then cross with the second bead and pull. Now we are going to end this fishing line as well into the next one bead in front. Okay, now we are still doing the same thing on the back fishing line, our normal weaved method. On the back fishing line, I'm still going to add my two beads. All right, I'll add my two beads on the back fishing line. Sorry guys, I'll add my two beads. I'll cross with the second bead, the normal mat weaving. I'll cross with the second bead. So this is it. Now we want to end this fishing line is short. So this fishing line on the right, I'm going to step back. I'm going to go into the next one bead backwards, okay? The bead that is directly at the back. Can you see that? Then I'll go into this bead that is down because we have to follow the matting method, okay? Please, the fishing line that is in front as well. Okay, we are going to step back one time, once backwards, okay? I'm going to step back into the next one bead backwards. So both fishing lines, you just go through the beads that are back. Okay, the next bead behind it. Okay, so this is it. Please just watch. The English can fail me, but the practicals cannot fail me. Okay, so just weave in your leftover fishing line into as many beads as possible. Please do not be selfish with the fishing line. Make sure your fishing line is lengthy enough to go through 10 beads and above. That is the only way you can get a firm and a sturdy bag, because some people complain that their bags sag easily. There is actually no secret of making a firm bag. This is it. Keep weaving your leftover fishing line back into the body of your mat. When it's very short, then you can cut it off. All right, so I'm going to weave this into the body of the bag into more than 10 beads, and that way your bag will be firm and sturdy. If your fishing lines meet in the middle, all right, by the time you are weaving, if your fishing lines meet in the middle, you can tie it, okay? You can tie. The disadvantage with this method is by the time you step back into this bead right here, you may find difficulties if you are not using the right fishing line. So I like to avoid these beads here because we are still going to weave and pass here. So I like to avoid these beads. If you are not using the right fishing line, you are going to get stuck. So I prefer the first method where we stock our knots in the middle bead, okay? The bead that is facing downward. So I like to allow the sides beads to be free so that we can weave again through the beads. So when you weave, if your fishing lines meet in the middle, tie twice and then you weave in your leftover fishing line back into the body of the mat. That way your bag is going to be so firm and sturdy. Or you can use the loop method. It's not too common, but the loop method is also fine. So guys, I'll get a new fishing line. You see that our line is straight, our lines are straight, or our line is straight. Where you get a slant, that is where we ended. Okay, that is where we stopped. I'm going to get my fresh fishing line, a new fishing line. I'll go into this bead downwards. Okay, the beader is facing downward and the bead on the side. All right, that is where you should continue. And on the back fishing line, I'll continue adding my two beads. I'll add my 2 beads. I'll cross with the second bead and pull. And then I'll continue to weave the mat. My front fishing line will go into the next 1 bead in front. Into the next 1 bead in front. And on the back fishing line, you keep adding your two beads, okay? So whether you choose the first method or the second method, at the end of the day, we want to have a sturdy bag. We don't just want to end our fishing line, but we want to have a firm bag, all right? So this is the mat. Can you see that? When you throw it up, your mat should be so firm, all right? Please, if you find this video helpful, kindly like, subscribe, share the video, and please leave your comments in the comment section. I hope that this video meets you well and that I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.